back to me. Enough is enough. They just wanna hurt us. Bring us down. Bring us down. Enough is enough. We won't let them hurt us. Bring us down. Bring us down. Enough is enough.
Hey guys, welcome back to the Indie Wrestling Corner with another episode of Under the Ropes. I'm your host as always, the queen of the indies, Tiffany. Happy Memorial Day, pretty much. So so I have my good friend that I know for many, many years, Brother Greatness. How are ya?
Hallelujah. I'm blessed and highly favored. How are you doing today?
I'm good. I feel like this interview's been long time coming. So thank you for coming on and, you know, maybe get some hot dogs and some hamburgers after this interview and enjoy the Memorial Day weekend pretty much. So, but awesome. Guys, if you're new to the Under the Rope series, here I interview everything independent wrestling, whether it's wrestlers, promoters, referees, backstage. I got you covered. If you guys got questions for Brother Greatness, please drop them into the chat. I'm sure he'll be more than happy to answer any of your questions. And make sure you hit that like button, share it. Let's get some people in here. Let's get this party started pretty much. So, all right, we like to go back to basics. We like to learn about everybody here. So let's go back. How did you get into professional wrestling?
All right. So I used to do freestyle wrestling in high school. I was in karate, all that fun stuff. I was a wonderfully violent youth, and essentially that moved its way to me being in the yard, like many people refuse to admit. Then after that, found a school in 2012. It was the Ludus under the Maximos. Started training under them, and have been more or less in the game ever since.
Awesome. I see some people into the chat. What's going on? Matt, awesome. What's going on? He goes, Greatness. Love you, bro. Fun fact, me and Greatness have wrestled each other 2 times and teamed up once. One of my favorite people to wrestle and team with. So, much love.
Yeah, no, Matt Awesome is awesome, man. That's my guy.
Yeah. It's so great. Sky's in the chat. What time is it over there? I know every time you come in here, I ask. It's pretty late. She goes, hey, what's up? Hope you're having a great day. I'm doing great. Thank you. Hope you're having a great day, too. So, awesome. All right. So, like I obviously know you for a very long time, which we'll get into, later. But, again, fans listen to this podcast may not know you. So, the fan that doesn't know you, never saw you wrestled before, what's the match that they should go check out to become an instant fan of you?
Yeah, that's been changing a lot over the years. Normally, I always say myself versus Chris Cage the second time, BWF, Jingle All the Way. This big, awesome story, quality commentary, a story that was like 8 years or something like that in the making. Really, really proud of that story, proud of that match. And I think it shows a lot of who I am,
right?
Or at least who I was. I would say be pulling open any week. Any week is.
Oh no, you're going in and out.
Fine.
Oh boy, you're frozen and you're in and out. Okay, I think you're. What?
See, that's what I get for trying to do this out of a. That's what I get for doing this out of a car. All right.
Okay, there you go.
Do you have
We're back. We're back.
All right. Wonderful.
Awesome. Yeah.
So I would say for the old stuff, the new stuff, just check me out on the Wrestling Open. Any week I was on it, you're gonna get a pretty good idea of what I'm all about really quickly.
Now, let me go back because like I said that like I know you for a long time and one of the promotions and you brought it up was BWF. So I remember like going there like a lot. I love the stories, I love the wrestlers, I love everybody that was like, putting on these great matches over there. But one match in particular that I want to bring up because it makes me laugh. And I brought it up with Chris Steeler on the podcast with So it's just funny because I remember I was sitting right front row, right near the pillar. There was this huge pillar in it was a gym, just so anybody knows, like, if they haven't been to BWF. So it was in a gym and this big ass pillar, and Chris Steeler picked you up and threw you right into the thing. And like, you hear me, I know I have the clip somewhere, like I'd have to go really digging into old laptops for it. But I remember talking about that with Chris Steeler on the pod, and I remember him saying that you told him to throw you hard pretty much.
Like I realize a lot of people don't know this, and why would they unless they've worked with me on some level? I'm a little crazy.
Yeah.
I'm a little crazy. I have the mentality of wrestling needs to be right, almost like what Mick Foley used to say, where you should be really questioning
right
how legitimate things are.
Right.
So when you see a Brother Greatness match, there's certain things you're gonna get. You're gonna get the word of the Lord somewhere in there.
Right.
You're probably gonna see dance and
oh boy,
usually the one getting hit. Me and that pillar are not good friends. With Lou Bruno, we had a show during the COVID era, and he military pressed me and threw me into a tree. Vince Steele military pressed me, threw me out the ring into that pillar a couple years before Steeler did. I get thrown into a lot of very, very hard things.
Yeah.
It's no bueno. Yeah.
What's up, Shotgun Adams? How are you? Thanks for joining.
Oh gosh, Shotgun.
Man, I'm getting like flashbacks to like years and years ago. I mean, like now, like it's like we're talking about this. And I remember like we went to the bar to watch one of the WWE events or something like years ago in Forest Hills. You were there. There was the big table set up. All the wrestlers from like BWF were there. Like it was cool. Like flashing back to all those fun times, pretty much. So,
2017 to 19 just popping up in your memory.
Yeah, it's wow, like crazy. All right, so you brought up Wrestle Open. Sky brought up Wrestle Open into the chat as well, so we're gonna talk Wrestle Open. She said, she was like, I feel like I've seen him there. Yeah, you seen him there. You definitely seen him there. So I've been fortunate enough. I've been coming up. I mean, I've been watching every week on IWTV. I got to see you a bunch of times live. So let's talk about the Church of Greatness. Tell us some of like how this got brought together. What are the plans? Maybe some special moments.
Yeah. So the Church of Greatness just kind of happened. Not too deep into it. I started becoming a regular. It's a big libacious crowd of sinners. I think Worcester might honestly be a godless land because the fact that these people are so quick to scream out literally "Hail Satan" sincerely and deeply confuses and worries myself and everyone who is in charge of the Open. That's some bad juju. That's probably why there was a fire at episode 20, because people keep trying to hail Satan. It's very concerning. But the Church of Greatness just kind of happened. There's a lot of people always trying to get involved in the Open. Right. And I just happen to be close, or not close, but relatively connected to a lot of the guys, because even though a lot of people, it depends how you know me. Some people know me as a New York guy. Right. So a lot of people think I haven't been wrestling for a long time. They haven't seen me in New York and New Jersey in a long time. So they're like, this guy hasn't wrestled in years. Right. But then the New England guys, they all started seeing me back in late 2017, and they've never really stopped seeing me. I always am wrestling in Massachusetts and Connecticut. Right. So it depends on where you met me. How did you get to know my work? But the point is, a lot of the people in the area know me in a lot of different ways. So when they see me doing my thing, like, oh, that's so cool. What if you did this? What if you did that? People have all these ideas for what Brother Greatness should be doing.
Right.
And after a while, it was just kind of like, what if we really made this church legitimately where different people came as members of the church every week? And it just kind of, it's been growing, and it's starting to kind of set, because Brother Haru, Sister Anastasia, Brother Perkins, Brother Perfect, all that's, they're starting to become kind of that core group, and I don't have any plans yet. My only plan is to try to make this as legitimately helpful to people as possible, because even though I'm out there screaming at people and wilding out, you'd be surprised how many people walk up to me saying, like, hey, listen, I went to church the other day because I was thinking about you. And it's someone who's like screaming Satan to me. It is really interesting how people respond to this. It's actually, I think, I could be wrong, but I think it's having an effect on how people are viewing Christianity, even though it's the way I don't necessarily want it to be seen.
Right.
The fact that it's being seen and people are going toward making changes in their lives, at least I think they are because of it.
Right.
And it makes me really happy.
That's so awesome. It's so great to see it again. Like I said, to watch like it evolve, because again, like you said, like I've been following you for a long time, so to watch it evolve into where it is, and now the fans are getting behind it. And right before this interview, I was telling Brother Greatness about that when I came out to one of the wrestling opens, that when I was waiting outside, I was talking to one of the fans, and the fans was telling me that he doesn't really go and know all the characters, but Brother Greatness was his favorite. And I thought that was awesome. And I started telling him, I was like, well, I know him from New York. And never mind the fact that everybody looks at me like I got 6 heads. I drove up from New York to come watch Wrestle Open, but
the show's really worth it, because you got all these guys with contracts or formerly had contracts showing up. Casters there every week now. Like, this is a really good show, and it's like $10.
Yeah.
It's a really, really good program. Before I was on it every week, I was watching it every week.
Yeah.
Because it was just good quality weekly episodic television. So I recommend people show up.
Yeah.
I have a lot of shows. I don't recommend much to anyone. The Open is fantastic.
Yeah. And it's great if you want to learn new characters and stuff like that. Definitely check it out. I think for me, it's such a huge, door for me because of the fact that I see people like you from New York, people from Jersey, people that I watch on, maybe on the West Coast. I mean, you got people coming up from Kansas and all over and coming down from Maine. And I think it's a nice mix to mix together and have these great matches. And they might be short. That's okay. It gives you an incentive to really,
Sorry. I prefer short matches as a wrestling fan, honestly.
Right.
Everything doesn't have to be the 30-minute.
Right.
This 30-minute banger. Honestly, a good, smooth 5-minute match. I'm a sucker for those.
But I think it's good, too, because it can kind of tell the story of, who's got really great chemistry together, which might actually explode into, a bigger match. So if you have, chemistry with Wrestler X, that's so good. You're like, damn, I need to see this at, a full capacity, maybe a 12-minute match or a half-an-hour match or something. I've had those where I've gone to Wrestle Open, I'm like, damn, I was this is just a tease. I was like, I need a full-blown match now. So I think that's another, another good thing too with it as well. Yeah. Let me give some love into this chat. Smiley, what's going on? He goes, love us some brother.
Smiley.
Johnny Santos, what's going on? He goes, the Wars Minute. What do you stall for? Damn. Wes, you're a mess.
Who are you? Who are you? Who are you?
Wes is in the chat. What's up, Wes? He goes, my son Kyle and me got to know you through watching you on Wrestling Open, and you're so entertaining. You are the great one. So awesome.
God bless. Thank you kindly.
Good cop, bad cop. He goes, I think the first time I saw Brother Greatness with Full Faith Wrestling, after watching some Joey Silver matches, haven't seen him interviewed on here, live for the first time at Pizza Party Pro on 8/21. So.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, you know what? Full Faith Wrestling's another one, too.
I love
So
love Full Faith Wrestling.
Yeah. I feel like there was like a bunch of people that I know that like trained at House of Glory, but then I saw them first at Full Faith Wrestling, which is such another fun promotion that you guys can like look up. I think they have their own site that you can watch their vlogs, their shows on, I think. So I know they're sporadic. I think that they've been putting them on a little bit more now, Full Faith Wrestling. So if you guys are interested, definitely check that out. I think, if I'm correct, I think the first one I went to was, you guys were in a 6-way gauntlet, right? Was that the one I'm thinking a couple years ago? Was it that one? Man, there's so many matches. Was it for the Full Faith? Joey Silver won the belt. Were you in that? I'm trying to remember now.
I was not. I think I was in Connecticut for that show. I don't even think I worked that show.
I know I've seen you there. So many.
Yeah. I've been there a couple times.
I was thinking that one. No.
Not Astro. Me and Alvin had a great match there.
Yeah.
I just worked Mistretta a couple nights ago.
Mm-hmm.
Battle Royal happened in there. James Ellsworth was there that day.
Yeah.
So I worked with him a lot.
Yeah.
It's a Christian wrestling company. I can't just not be there.
Yeah. It's like made for you pretty much, which is pretty awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. It's them and Christian Wrestling Federation in Texas.
Right.
Like those two, I love working for them. Prayer before the show, service after the show, quick word in season. Really quality stuff.
Yeah, definitely check it out. So, and then Pizza Party Pro was another one that I was gonna bring up. So I'm glad like Good Cop Bad Cop brought it up. So I've been able, if you guys like really curious about Pizza Party Pro, like I have the video up on the channel. Actually, Brother Greatness did a little bit of a promo for me that we actually started dying after I recorded it. So, but Pizza Party Pro, it's such a fun promotion. Every once in a while, like I tweet at Pizza Party and I'm like, when's your next show? And it was funny because that kind of threw out the post of like the August show that he was talking about. So Pizza Party Pro, I really like, very different. And of course, you get some pizza at the promotion. I mean, how can you not love it? So tell us some of your favorite experiences working at Pizza Party Pro.
Well, first of all, Pizza Party is the easiest place to work with. The promoter is just delightful.
Yeah.
It's unique matches. There's a lot of freedom. It's a very relaxed backstage setting, but everyone can legitimately work and are extremely entertaining. I really sincerely believe, like, if you don't give Pizza Party a chance, like if someone watches Pizza Party and they don't like it, it's just not their brand of wrestling.
Right.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
Right.
But I think for people who really enjoy that style of entertainment, it's really good. And I think there's a little bit of something for multiple wrestling fans, because you'll still get those serious, hard-hitting technical matches, but then you'll get a Super Smash Brothers match where Leroy Green puts us in a video game. Like, it's all over the gamut, but it's always fun. I would love if everyone paid attention to them and watched them. And honestly, I wouldn't be on. I heavily doubt that I would be on the Wrestling Open today if I wasn't working Pizza Party Pro at the WrestleVille at the end of last year when I worked against Little Mean Kathleen. So honestly, and really good promotion, and it's all on IWTV. Just get IWTV and just enjoy all the past shows they had. Between them, the Open, Uncharted Territory on Mondays, it's really good stuff. It really is, and it's the easiest way to get to see who's hot in the indies right now.
Yeah. I mean, it really is crazy. The indies, they're so hot, like compared to like what it was like a while ago, and even during like the pandemic, like we had like a little bit of a freeze, and like then we still got some like wrestling, but even having like IWTV and going back and being able to like watch a lot of old stuff, which is so great because I tend to do that. But Pizza Party Pro, definitely go check it out. A lot of fun. There's a lot of people that you guys seen on this podcast. I've made Matt Mikowski, Leroy Green's been on the channel a bunch of times. Like there's so many people. Again, I love that promotion, and it really is, a little bit for everything. So I want to talk about this with you because I find this very like interesting. So you were a trainer for a while. So like I'd love your thoughts about, okay, here was like, you've been wrestling for years, and now you get to help the, new coming talent. So tell us some of the, your experience working as a trainer.
Yeah, no. Being a trainer was something I wanted to do for a while. That's actually formerly was my big goal. It was my big end game. Everybody's talking about, I want to get signed. Da 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 da. I was like, honestly, I want to get to the point that I felt confident enough to be a trainer because I thought that I'd be able to handle a lot of the non-wrestling issues
Hmm.
and be like helpful in that regard without becoming somebody's best friend while still teaching them how to wrestle. I felt like I could create a really balanced situation. So I wasn't trying to do it yet. I don't think I'm qualified to be anyone's head trainer, to be completely honest with you.
Yeah.
But Tom Frazier, me and him had a misunderstanding
Hmm.
during COVID. He had a spot that people could work out without it being an issue,
Hmm.
on a very limited basis. And I thought he was saying that he had a space to open a school for people to work out in the ring.
Hmm.
And when we realized that we were talking about two different things, it was like, wait a second, but we could open a school. One thing leads to another. Next thing you know, you get Logan Black involved. All of a sudden, there's a school
Yeah.
open, and T to T happens. The best part of it, honestly, was helping people with their real life stuff, and just kind of helping them get past that,
Hmm.
so that they could enjoy not just wrestling, but the fun parts of their lives. And I feel like I got an opportunity to really help people on an emotional level.
Hmm.
It's great teaching people the basics, and I'm gonna make sure that you can do the basics.
Right.
And usually Logan dealt with the rest. But my focus was always just, are these people okay, mentally and emotionally? And there's a lot of students that I'm really, really proud of that are out there doing cool things. So like Stan Michael, not everyone knows him, but he's been doing some cool things and taking his time and really trying to find a good balance between wrestling and life. And I think he's done a phenomenal job finding it. Angelo Carter was one of my favorite people to train, and he's wrestling up. He probably wrestling today. He's
Yeah.
wrestling all. Actually, yeah, today's Monday. T to T is open. They should be on their way to the school right now.
Right.
So he's wrestling 24/7. T.R. James, who's at Damian Adams right now. She's. I saw her, I knew Sheil, and it was a lot of fun working with her. And, I wish the best for all three of those guys and everybody else, Joe Alexander, Perkins, who's with me at the Open, and doing her things. I could go on and on. You make a lot of cool connections, and it's a lot emotionally and mentally.
Right.
But doing it was definitely worth it for the time I got to.
It's so awesome. Is there something like maybe, you would like to continue dabbling in like later in life, or no more? You done?
Not right now.
Yeah.
Nope.
Okay.
No, I'm good. It was a lot. It was a lot. And unless I'm in a position where I could open my own place and it's really just all at me,
Right.
and I also feel as though my wrestling acumen and knowledge is enough that I can be like the head of state in said institution,
Hmm.
I just don't have it in me to handle everything that comes with that,
Right.
plus my wrestling schedule, plus the shoot job, the girlfriend, the this, the that. There has to be some balance. Also, shout out to my man Shotgun, because he was one of the most improved people from the time that I knew him in the BWF till now.
Mhm.
And a lot of it has to do with the wonders of T to T and Logan Black, and MV Young during the time too was super helpful.
So awesome. It's always like, that's why I wanted to talk about it a little bit on the podcast, because, sometimes, I have these conversations with people, sometimes maybe actually being a wrestler they found out maybe it's not what they want to do, but that, maybe training or coaching is something that, is what they're meant to do. So I was really curious to see, like where your head at was, like being a trainer, and like, I think that's kind of awesome though. So. So, all right, let's talk Creative Pro, because Creative Pro is another place. And then, even during COVID, we got Cap TV, which was great. So, like, again, like there was like no fans. It was just, recording, which was great. That gave us something that we could watch during the pandemic and, stuff like that. So, obviously, Creative Pro getting bigger and bigger and bigger. You've worked like even like Eric James, like talk to us a little bit about that. Talk to us some of your experience with Creative Pro.
Yeah, I have very little experience with Creative Pro. Cat TV just kind of happened.
Yeah.
I'm talking to some of the guys. They're like, "Hey, we're doing this filming." I'm like, all right. So I went. I did one. I don't know if that match even went out. But there was one match
No,
I had
it
there.
did.
And then a couple, no, not the Eric match.
Oh,
It was
okay.
before that.
Mm-hmm.
I remember almost nothing about it. I just know it happened.
Yeah.
And the second time they did this whole Twitter thing, and it was a
Uh-oh. You froze.
my little promo.
Okay,
Oh,
you're...
it froze?
Yeah.
Am I back?
Yeah, you're good.
Did I return to the
You're-
Lazarus Project?
Yeah, you're good. You're good. You're good.
But no, it was a legitimate thing. They did a little Twitter contest. I got to face Eric. And honestly, I faced him at a time that I was not feeling it. I was already in the mindset of, do I still want to do this wrestling thing? I walked in there. I was exhausted. I felt like I was half asleep. I felt lethargic. Just no bueno, no good. So I'm there, getting ready to work with one of the wrestlers that I've been a fan of for a long time, because I knew him as EJ Risk back in VPW in like 2010 and before I was even wrestling. So it was a big deal for me to get to face him. It kind of sucked that I worked him when I was at my mentally and emotionally at a very low point. Match was still okay. It was solid. People loved it, but I'd love to get a redo of that one. Like now that I'm in a better mind space.
Right. Oh, well, maybe you never know. You never know what could happen, right? Never.
No, we run into each other a couple places.
Yeah.
VPW, Wrestling Open. You never know when Cap TV is a thing.
Definitely. So maybe in the future we'll see it. So you're getting ready to go out into a match. What are your pre-match rituals?
Yeah, 3 things I always do. I'm always praying before a match, period. I've had a major injury already. I've had the minor injuries. I've had all this stuff happen in matches. I'm not getting out there without a prayer, because you never know what's going to happen out there.
Right.
Another big thing, whoever I'm facing, with very rare exception, actually with like no exception, I walk up to everyone, just try to do the little fist pound or some kind of physical touch, and just be like, let's stay safe, and get out of there when we need to. Say that to everybody. Everyone takes it a different way, but I kind of just make sure I spit that out. And then if I'm in a place where I'm a fan favorite, I always kind of dance a little bit and get my hips loose. If I'm not as well received as I happen to not be in Worcester, I'm usually just spending a lot of time just kind of looking not happy, just trying to get my mind together for what the reaction that's about to happen. And oftentimes it causes people in the back to kind of look at me like, did I do something to him? Did he smell something bad? I'm just like, just trying to get my mind right for dealing with these people.
The fans, they're a trip, me included. So I have my share of giving people a hard time.
Especially in Worcester. But more on that later. Go ahead. Stole that from Stan Michael. More on that later.
Oh man, we can talk about that. We can talk about the fans and like them being crazy or whatever like that. So let's bring back one of my old questions, and let's bring back, what's the craziest thing a fan's done to get your attention?
Man, I'm not gonna lie. That last Wrestling Open I worked, I don't think nothing's gonna beat that. They made fake money. And on the front, it had the devil. And on the back, there was a picture of me from weeks before at the Open with a Bible on my face, laid on the ground, and it said, "Yes, today, Satan," next to the picture. They had 50 of them custom made.
Oh my God.
And put them in the offering baskets. 50 of them.
I was at that show.
And I can't see well. So I thought it was real money until I really got to looking at it. I couldn't believe and then, they had the fire, because they put Satan in the offering basket. So there was a fire at White Eagle almost. Like, I don't know what the situation was. It was smoke. And you go outside, and this man had the audacity to walk up to me with a gift, a present, wrapped up with a bow. Like, well done, too. And it was a framed $2 with the yesterday Satan and Ting, then a Wrestling Open signing the day that it happened. I don't think anything's going to beat that. That was absurd. I couldn't believe my eyes. I'm not going to get over that. Anytime I still have the money in the house, I don't know what to do with it. I might give it back to them. I might give it back to them with just, like, I don't know, like, I gotta figure this out because I ain't keeping it.
Oh, it's like bad juju, right? Like,
I said, I don't know, do the frame because it's a nice frame.
I saw it. I saw it when we were in the parking lot after the fire. Like, I was like the one. I like when everybody came up to me. They're like, "So, how was wrestling open for you? Was it worth the drive?" And I was like, "Well, we made it all the way to the main event." I was like,
just tell them it was fire. There'll be no lie.
You guys burned the house down, right? Like that's.
Yeah, they burned the house down. I had nothing to do with that. It's all these sinners screaming, "Hail Satan!" and all this ignorance. Please.
Oh man.
Nothing to do with all that.
It was a little scary though, like that situation. It really was because you just see the fans like looking up.
Because no one cared about their lives. All they cared about was their gear. They said, "Oh no, where's my gear bag?" I'm like, the wrestlers are a trip.
Yeah, I know, Drew.
No one was concerned about their lives. They were worried about their gear. That's it.
My
car
goodness.
keys, nothing. Where's my gear?
Oh man, good times. Yeah, I'm glad though that the White Eagle is okay and that it was like a fan thing, and hopefully it never happens again. So we have a fun fan tweet from Good Cop Bad Cop. He said, "With Brother Greatness being an anagram of grab 3 tenors, if you had to grab 3 tenors to sing for you, which 3 would you grab?"
Alright, this is gonna be kind of random.
Okay.
Alright. I mean, he's not really a tenor. I'm just gonna say 3 people. I'm gonna roll with it.
Okay.
I want Waves and Curls and Angelo Carter to sing for me. That's what I want singing. That's my life choice.
Oh, okay. Okay, I like
That's
that.
what I want.
Okay,
That's
so
my
then
choice.
let's add to it. What would be the song?
In the Sanctuary.
Ooh. Okay.
We lift our hands in the sanctuary. I want them hitting that for me. I want all that. I want all that. I want the offering plate passing around wherever we are. I don't care if we're in the supermarket. I don't care. To do this, that works. We do it in a Lowe's. Get your lumber and get the word. It works for me.
Okay. Well, there you go. Well, that's good. That's good. All right. So obviously you guys travel all over the place, right? And you guys get into the car, you guys carpool and all that fun stuff. Give us one of your best road trip stories.
Road trip stories. And my road trips are really, really calm.
Okay.
Calm's not the right word, but there's not a lot of tomfoolery. You know how you hear guys talking about they jumped out of one car, went into the other car, all kind of craziness. That's not what we do.
Yeah.
Honestly, the craziest thing that probably happened was just driving and seeing Dominic De Niro on the highway. Like, we had no plans on meeting or anything. We were just driving. I just look up to my right. He looks over to his left. I'm like, Dominic De Niro. And then, like, we start, like, fake racing to TOS. But I guess we were both scared to get a ticket because we were both still, like, kind of driving slow. It was weird. It was weird. Like, we had a race for, like, probably a good 100 miles trying to get to Connecticut. It was just weird. There's a lot of stupidity. I think I called him. I called him something out of his mama's name. It was just an interesting situation, but not compared to these crazy people jumping out of cars and pickup trucks and stuff. I'm not built for all of that. I'm a child of God.
Okay. I like Shotgun's throwing the hats into the chat. Okay. All right, let's do a fun question that I've been doing, and it's very important to me on this podcast. So, wrestling with positivity. So we need some positivity because there's always some negative going on to the social media world, and I like to focus on the positive. Okay, so is there anything that you could share with us? Maybe something that you've done for a fan, maybe a fan's done for you, maybe you've done for a wrestler, maybe something that a wrestler done for you, something that we wouldn't normally hear about unless you could share with us.
Yeah, no, Karenambam takes care of me. She's just just so emotionally. Like, every time I have a little issue, I'm always calling Karenambam. She's like my wrestling rock. Like, I'm the emotional one out of the two. So as far as I'm concerned, she's my wrestling husband. She's the best. She's the best. Karenambam, just super supportive, like just fantastic, like family sometimes. There's not a lot of people like that in wrestling who are doing that all of the time, but definitely her with that, and then with the whole thinking about retiring status, I didn't expect such a big response. I didn't expect so many people to call me. I didn't realize how many people had my phone number. The amount of people that messaged me and gave me legitimately good advice and good counsel. And even if they didn't, it's just like, yo, I'm like, if that's what you need to do it. But I'm going to be sad to not have you in the locker room. It had nothing to do with the wrestling. Just, I'm sad that you're not going to be around anymore because we enjoy having you here. I'm like, you do? And it's, I don't know, that was beautiful. I was really blown away by that. I didn't have the words for it. I won't have the words for it. Ain't no other status coming. This is just, it was a lot. I didn't expect such a big response from so many people that I legitimately respect in the game.
Yeah. It's like, I saw your post, and like, you know, like I felt sad too, because again, like I know you a long time, and you know, I love to see you in the ring, but I get it, it's challenging, right? Like, you know, everything as a whole in wrestling. I mean, like,
there's a lot that goes into it.
Yeah, and it's like, you know, I can't even think about like doing anything that you guys do, and it's like, you know, I can tell you that like I appreciate what you guys do to entertain us, and you know what you put your bodies through, and like the mental, and like, you know, seeing if you can get booked at this place, or you know, are you getting like picked over somebody else and things like that, like, you know.
Yeah,
but
it's not even that stuff.
Yeah.
Honestly, everyone really gets like wrestling in itself is the life around it and
Right.
balancing it. That's really all it is. Because getting booked after what, like honestly, most of the year I was wrestling 3-4 times a week and could have been wrestling more.
Right.
Like, you know, getting booked isn't that stressful. Getting the money that you want is it's funny sometimes, but getting what you need is usually not too stressful. Getting a ride, finding decent people backstage, all that stuff, the wrestling stuff isn't the problem. The problem is balancing it with everything else, especially when life is good. When life is bad, it's real easy to bandage it with a little bit of wrestling. Yeah, I hate my job. Let me go kick somebody in the face. Like, but when life is good,
Yeah.
and you're dedicating so much time, and you know you're stepping away from something good to do this, and knowing and trying to figure out, well, the why. If your why is not strong enough, and there's a lot that goes into it, but it's not, I swear to you, it's not the wrestling. Wrestling is not the demon in this story. It's knowing that, are you giving up A for B? Do you prefer bacon or salami? And you're like, well, I like both. Well, too bad. You can only get one at a time. What are you going to do? Yeah, just balancing, that's the hard part.
No, I get it. So no, it's nice to like, you know, hear this, because again, like, you know, we have people that, you know, listen to these interviews that like Sky was in the chat, and you know, she always looking for advice from wrestlers, and great, well, which we'll get into like, you know, after, but just like to hear this, you know, so like, you know, these people don't feel alone. Maybe they're feeling like a type of way, you know, with wrestling as a whole. And you know, I talk to so many different people, and I hear so many different stories, you know, just in general of, you know, the mental game of wrestling, you know. And that's why I say, like, even with me, like, I have to thank you guys, even just if it's just me, you know, for everything that you do for us. So, you know, so don't ever think you're
y'all for coming, because if y'all ain't there, we ain't wrestling for nobody. Ain't no money for no gas money. This wrestling thing ain't happening. You gotta thank the fans more often.
Yeah.
Wrestlers over here having a good time, and like, nah, thank y'all. Thank you for doing this podcast.
Absolutely. Yes. No, I love you know, chatting and get to know you guys a little bit. I love giving that platform for you guys. So what are some things you like to do when you're not wrestling besides working, and you know, like
me out for work, me a serious Caribbean man. Nah, the big thing for me, I love hanging out with my lady. Nothing beats that. My best friend, love her.
Yeah.
Love her to death. Honestly, like, I'll go catch a movie here and there. Long walks on the beach. Honestly, I just like hanging out with my people. Nice and simple. Yesterday we went to a nice restaurant on the island. Me and about 4 friends and my lady had a good time. Just I'm an old man. Legitimately, I just want to relax, have a nice drink, eat some food, you know, like get a nice grape juice, some cranberry juice with some ice, nice and chilled. You know, have some dessert. I mean, I like fruit, but a fruit-based dessert.
there you go.
And that's about it. Nice and simple. And I like watching Hamilton on repeat. That's
Oh,
about it.
okay. I like that. Matt's in chat. He goes, "Hi, everybody. How are you?" I'm good. I'm good. Thanks for joining us. Sky says, "Thank you for opening up about that brother greatness." See, like, that's why I said, like, these are why I do these interviews for so many reasons. You get to learn about some of my favorite people. So you get to learn about them, and and it kind of gives that great advice over to anybody that's looking to get into the business. So,
And then if you got legitimate questions for me about all that stuff, all the folks in the chat, shoot me a message. I really don't mind. I'm slow to reply, but I will reply.
there you go. So like you are talking about like a little bit of like retiring. I mean, I know you got some matches, and we'll get into that in a little bit. Are there any goals that you have this year?
I had a bunch, and then I was like, I'm gonna quit. Then I decided not to quit. So the goal right now is to be happy. Number one, just be happy with wrestling and how I decide to balance it.
Mm-hmm.
The thing after that, honestly, is to just grow as much as I can as a competitor in the places that I want to work the most, because my focus is TOS and anything involving the mission. VPW and anything else in that greater Long Island area. Pizza Party, whenever they have the time, I'll make the time. And then finally the big one being the Open. So honestly, I just want to do good work in all those places. It's a very basic goal. It seems very simplistic, but that and maybe a really nice looking championship belt. That would be.
Ooh.
I've had about 4 championships in my time. Only one of them was really attractive. I would love an aesthetically pleasing championship belt. Don't care which one it is, as long as it's aesthetically pleasing. That would be a nice goal. I wanted PWI. I don't think that's happening, but we'll see.
You never know. You put it into the air. You never know with these these interviews. You never.
Put it in the universe. You don't know.
Leave me in my bubble, okay? Just leave me in my bubble. It works sometimes, okay? All right? It works sometimes. Manifest. Okay, so since we're manifesting, and I'm getting really Italian right now because the hands are going right now. All right. Is there anybody that's like caught your eye, maybe like the younger generation that, you want to step in the ring with? I mean, I know there's so much.
Man, it's weird, and it's hard to consider who's young now. I don't even know. But I guess if Encore still counts as young, I mean,
Yeah.
he did the Super 8 now. He's a vet now. He did the Super 8. It's over. He's doing seminars now.
Yeah.
As far as he's signed. He's signed in my mind.
He's so good.
But Encore, because I got to train with him while I was at Hog, that would be phenomenal. I want Kylon one-on-one because I don't like him or his hair. For no other reason than that, I don't like him.
Okay.
No, I don't like Kylon. He annoys me. He annoys me greatly. He tried to jump me in a McDonald's like a month ago after the Open. I'm over here ordering a fish fillet. A fish fillet. The worst thing you can order. I'm trying to get a fish fillet. And he walks into the McDonald's, and I see him from afar. I'm trying to pay for my fish fillet. He got me in a sleeper hold in the McDonald's. And I'm over here. He's trying to drag me to the back to do who knows what ungodliness. And I'm over here wrestling around with Kylon King. And every time he sees me, it's war. It's unacceptable. The man's nappy. And I'm not even going to get started. I'm going to get canceled talking about this man's hair. Someone tag Kylon King and let him know I don't like him. I've got him a lot of tag team matches. I want him one-on-one. I want a good 12 minutes. I want to kick him in the head. And he's young, so he counts. Man, who else?
Damn, I felt that.
I can't think of anybody else off the top of my head. Those are the first young guns I think about. I got to wrestle Ichiban one-on-one. I got Dustin already. Man, who's young out here anymore? Alec ain't young. I wrestled him. Yeah, I'm running low on people. I feel like I got to go in the ring with a lot of the people that I wanted to. The people I want to wrestle now aren't really young.
Yeah.
Like Darius Carter coming in with his walker. That would be that'd be a fun match. I'd enjoy that.
He's so good. He's so good.
And he's good. He's about 57, but he's good. About 57 years old, give or take.
There's a lot of
gets wider every year.
There's a lot of young, great talent out there. I mean, we're gonna say like Billy Starks, Nick Wayne, Marcus Matters. There's
Marcus would be fun. But I don't know. I'm real weird when it comes to that stuff. Like the lists, and I never come out with lists. The only people I'm really been thinking about mentioning are I've had 2 singles intergender matches, and that confuses my soul. I would love to have some more matches with some of the ladies because they're good.
Yeah.
And I want to wrestle them.
Yeah. There's a lot of great and even like upcoming talent out there that is just amazing. So again, check out Wrestling Open if you want to learn about a lot of these great up and coming talents. So a lot of greatness out there. Shotgun says you out here getting hoed at Mickey D's.
Shotgun. I'm not even dealing with Shotgun. I talk to Shotgun like 3 times a week at least. All right? That's my guy. Pretty sure I hung up on him to do this interview.
Sorry.
No, that's not true. But he did call me earlier. I didn't have a lot of time. Shotgun's my guy. He deserves some more opportunities, but more on that later. I feel like people need to give his promos a chance and really give Shotgun a chance.
Definitely.
He's solid. He's a good dude too.
Totally check him out as well. All right, so I have one final question for you, and then we'll go into everything else. And if anybody's got any other final questions, drop it into the chat. All right, so you're seasoned very well. What's a piece of advice that you would give someone trying to get into the business or already in the business?
Somebody trying to get in, find a good school / home. It doesn't have to be someone who's a name or anything, but really do your research about the schools. Like, ask if you know people, ask the pros and cons. Everything in the world has a pro, everything has a con. Figure out what situation best works for you to the best of your knowledge, and go there. And if it doesn't work out, no problem, go somewhere else. But don't start demeaning the individuals who worked with you first just because it wasn't for you. Just do what makes sense for you. Not every school is for everybody. For someone who's currently in the game, it's a hard thing to answer. But just take care of yourself mentally and physically. The grind is difficult. The race is long, but it's only with yourself. There's a lot of advice people have given me recently. So just take your time and try to enjoy the journey.
Awesome. Some great advice. All right, let's talk about what you got coming up so people can come visit you, come see you, maybe not give you, fake money again. Or
that'd be real nice. Custom evil money. TOS, test of strength. Essentially, in my brain, it's the place I was trained, but it wasn't. Right. I'm going to be working with The Mission. My boy, Dan the Man, he's insane. I don't really like him very much either, but we're together and I make it work. The Mission going out there, Invictus versus Test of Strength, June 4th in the greater New England area. Oop, you lost.
Yeah, you're there.
Yeah, that was doing this on a cell phone.
Yeah, it's okay. I got the graphic up anyway, so for people to see.
Yeah, TOS versus Invictus show. Check it out. It's upcoming Saturday, followed by PvP Pioneer Valley. Myself and Dan the Man are going to have what I assume is going to be the best in-ring tag team match I'm going to probably have all year against the Miracle Generation. I've dealt with them multiple times, always in Connecticut or Massachusetts. Don't like them. Going to kick Caroline in the mouth. Match probably going to be pretty long. If you want to see me wrestle, like really go out there and do some fancy stuff, that's the show to see. June 5th on a Sunday, making me miss church for this. So now I got to listen to Aaron Bernard on the podcast. Offensive, but we're going to go out there and do some things. Week after that, you're going to see BG in a very, at VPW is similar to what you may have seen from me in BWF. So if you want to see that version of me again, Victory Pro Wrestling, I'm going to be in a singles competition. Not sure against who yet, but it's going to be a one-on-one contest. I'm looking forward to that. And am I missing anything?
Oh, the Black Girl Magic. Yeah.
Yep, even though I'm not competing, even though I will not be completing because I'm not a black woman. But Black Girl Magic, I really want people to support that. I'm going to be sending out a lot of promotions for that. I'm most likely going to be doing flyering for it myself and reaching out to people. I really, really want people to support this show. Karenambam versus Trisha Dora announced.
It's going to be good.
The show is going to be awesome. Yeah, I kind of got the inside track on what's going on for that, what's planned for that show. Mm-hmm. And I think if all these people go on social media talking about melanin and we're black, let's be together, and we care about women's rights. Well, if you really care, put your money where your mouth is. Go to the show, buy a ticket, even if you're a worker. If you care about these people, prove it. Put your money where your mouth is, buy a ticket. If you cannot go for whatever reason, purchase the merchandise and watch the show on wherever it's streaming, because if you're just watching the stream, there's not going to be enough money coming in for Spice to make the decision to do this for a third year in a row. She can't take losses on this. The only way she doesn't lose is if people are sponsoring, people are buying tickets, or people are buying merchandise. If you're not doing one of those three things, you're not actually supporting the show, period. You can't show up and not pay and think you're supporting the show. That's not how it works.
Yeah.
Like, come on, folks. But seriously, it's going to be a great show. It's going to be more than a show. It's going to be a cultural experience, and I think people really need to be there for it.
That's amazing. Great stuff. So
yeah, you can miss all my shows, but go to Black Girl Magic.
That's so awesome.
Miss all of them. Go to Black Girl Magic.
Go give some love. So awesome. I'll put that flyer back up here for you guys so you guys can check out. That's August 19th in Brooklyn. So definitely go follow Black Girl Magic. So awesome. So but yeah, tell everybody where they can find you so they can support you, buy your merch, all that fun stuff.
Yeah, definitely. Brother Greatness 2012 Instagram. I probably spend the most time there out of all the social media things. My actual name, Bradley McElroy. You can find me on Facebook, Brother Greatness on Facebook as well. I think Twitter is BGreatness 2012 or something like that. But you can find me with relative ease. I'm sure the people in the chat, the comments, what have you, probably know my Twitter handle better than I do. I do not like Twitter, but I show up on it as much as I possibly can. You can buy my merchandise in person at most shows or on ProWrestlingTees.com. I know how people feel about Pro Wrestling Tees, but that's where my stuff is at the moment. If you really want to purchase merchandise elsewhere, I do have a store on Teespring with very limited merchandise. And you can also follow Black Girl Magic at Catch Magic with a K. You'll see a lot of stuff with my face on it sooner rather than later, because I'm going to be sending these people promos probably for the entire summer.
So
it's just up to them if they want to use them.
Awesome. That's so awesome. Well, yeah, and everybody can check you out at Wrestle Open too. So I'm sure you'll be back. Be nice to him. Come on, don't like.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not saying that when I'm gonna be there, but I'm just saying if you look this Thursday and you hear a word, I wouldn't be too surprised.
So awesome. But definitely
nudge.
Definitely check that out every Thursday on IWTV as well. So, Brother Greatness, thank you so much for coming on, chatting with us for a little bit. It's always a treat when I see you. So I love that. I always randomly run into you at shows, since I'm all over the freaking place trying to support everybody that I can. It's
What are you doing here?
Yeah, I got that. I think the first week I came up, everybody was like, "Damn, I haven't fucking seen you since this time."
Whoa, watch your language.
I'm sorry. Slipped out. That New York, that bad Queens, New York. Sorry. Nothing. Fudge. Anyway, so I will hopefully be able to come back up to Wrestling Open soon. I promise I won't throw any bad money in your basket. So I can't. Didn't somebody throw a business card in there, I think, too, one of the days?
I got business cards. I got a half-eaten Jello shot.
What?
I've gotten empty beer bottles, multiple middle fingers and double horns, a Lowe's card or something, a used gift card, a Wrestling Open punch sticker, and I even got one of the Bobby Jr. Juniors.
Wow. Well then.
Yeah. Then I lost it.
Aww. We'll have to get you one. There you go.
I don't know. I mean, Bobby's my mom, but I don't know about all these brothers and sisters. I'm not feeling it.
Well, definitely give some love, and like I said, hopefully I come up soon and I get to see you, and I'm sure I'll see you at some other promotions. So definitely go support him, give him a follow, buy his merch, all that great stuff. So But guys, thank you so much for joining us. All your questions in the chat, all the love. I appreciate it so much. So Larry Legend's coming on Wednesday. So get your questions ready for that guy. Love it. So guys, you know the drill. Stay safe, support independent wrestling, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Have a good night.